Tigers and the Athletics hooking up for the second game of the 3-game set. The skies have cleared. We saw a rainbow right before the Major League debut. Coming up for Gage Jump, taking the field for the very first time in his Major League career, donning all whites and wearing number 61. Family on hand to witness this amazing moment in his young career.
I'm just kind of chuckling at the smile on mom and dad's face.
Taking it all in. Game time weather brought to you by Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. And here's where we sit, 62 degrees. Had a little bit of rainfall from the sky, but looks to have cleared out. 64% humidity and a little wind, not as bad as yesterday was. Let's take a look at the Mariners lineup here as they will face the left-hander for the first time. The starting lineups are brought to you by the Bay Area Chevrolet dealers. J.P. Crawford leads it off, then it's Julio Rodriguez. Randy Arozarena hitting third tonight with Josh Naylor cleaning up. Rob Refsnyder is in hitting fifth as the DH. It's Mitch Garver, Cole Young, Victor Robles, and Cole Emerson.
And the man on the mound this evening making his Major League debut. Southpaw Gage Jump, coming off 2 fantastic outings in Las Vegas. 11 shutout innings combined, punched out 15, just 1 walk allowed for the left-hander. And Jenny, this man has a deep arsenal. He's got a big, and I mean big-time fastball, 3 different breaking balls. We're going to see a changeup as well from the southpaw. And this young man, I've had eyeballs on, and I couldn't be more excited, not only for the work that he has continued to put in, he has earned every bit of this promotion. Let's
take a look at the defense behind him. Shea Langeliers will do the catching for Gage Jump. Then it's Nick Kurtz at first base, Jeff McNeil at second, Daryl Hernandez at short, Zach Geloff at third. And in the outfield left to right, Tyler Soderstrom, Lawrence Butler back in the starting lineup here tonight, and Carlos Cortez. We are ready to go. I mean, Dallas, just about an hour ago, it was almost dark in here, like someone had turned the lights off with how much cloud coverage we had. Opened up just in time. And that first pitch, throws it by J.P. Crawford, a swing and a miss. 97 is that big fastball.
Here it is.
Fouls it back, 0-2. It's a good place to be for your first couple pitches.
What you'll notice about Gage Jump very quickly is number 1, the arm angle. Number 2, the arm swing. Very short arm stroke for the left-hander, which makes it feel like that ball is just kind of spitting out at you. You don't have a ton of time to pick up the window of release.
And Crawford with a swing and a miss. Got him on the sweeper. And how about your first strikeout in the book? Langeliers will toss the ball into the dugout. They'll get it authenticated. And that family you just saw was very happy. We'll probably have a souvenir waiting for him later.
Come and get it. Couple of big-time fastballs backed up by a sweeping slider down and out of the zone. And Crawford just flailing at it helplessly.
Mama likes it. Julio Rodriguez up now with 1 out. In for a strike, fill him up.
Well, you see the acknowledgement there of Julio Rodriguez kind of shaking his head. 23 years old, out of Aliso Viejo, California. Attended LSU and UCLA.
Fly ball into center field, and Lawrence Butler with the catch, 2 outs. Let's take a look at the umpiring crew here today. Nate Tomlinson's calling balls and strikes. It's Mark Wagner at first, Bruce Druckmann at second, and Carlos Cortez at third.
You just got to look at the changeup there.
Two outs in the first pitch to Randy Arozarena, and that's the first pitch out of the zone. Can you describe what Gage Jump is feeling right now or not feeling right now?
And that's probably closer to what's going on. Not feeling much. You know, legally you're supposed to be in contact with the pitching rubber. Right now he's floating on a cloud. And while that's a motion that you do have to learn how to harness, I think each and every step you make working your way through the minor leagues, you have a similar feeling to that the first appearance you make.
Swing and a miss from Rosarena makes it 2-1.
But I think the way you have seen him aggressively attack the strike zone lets you know he's already done a nice job of kind of blocking out the rest of the noise and has gotten to work quickly. Well, I told you there was a deep arsenal. Time now for StatCast, powered by Google Cloud. We're going to pop the hood on the rookie and get a look at it. That good four-seam fastball we've already gotten a taste of. The slider, the curveball, the sweeper. There's your 3 breaking balls. And a changeup we've seen as well.
The 2-2. A Rosarena swing and a miss. Slider gets him. A 10-pitch inning to begin his major league career for Gage Jump with a couple of punch-outs.
Welcome to the big leagues, Mr. Jump.
Gage really jumped right into his major league debut. 10 pitches in that first inning. Couple of strikeouts, and now time for his offense to give him some run support. This starting lineup is brought to you by your Bay Area Chevrolet dealers. Carlos Cortez will lead it off, followed by Nick Kurtz. He's reached base in 48 consecutive games. Shea Langoliers, Brent Rooker, Soderstrom, McNeil, Geloff, Butler, and Hernandez.
Right-hander Emerson Hancock will take the ball tonight for the Seattle Mariners. 11th start of the season for the right-hander. Coming off a couple pretty good outings. 6 innings against the San Diego Padres 2 starts ago, and then saw the White Sox.
Carlos Cortez wastes no time, and it'll be a fly ball to the shortstop, and J.P. Crawford 1 out. Let's take a look at the defense today. Joining Crawford on the left side of the infield is Cole Emerson, the young rookie. Then it's Cole Young and Josh Naylor on the right side. Mitch Garver's doing the catching today. Randy Rosarena in left, Julio Rodriguez in center, and Victor Robles the start this evening in right field. There's Dan Wilson, the manager of the Mariners, in his 3rd season. See the record here in the month of May. They won last night 9-2 against the Athletics to take game 1 of the series. But sitting at 10-13 this month as Nick Kurtz takes a strike. Kurtz will take a timeout with an 0-1 count.
Well, that's something that Emerson Hancock has done a nice job of over the course of his first 10 starts. Get ahead, 66% first pitch strike rate, good for 9th in Major League Baseball. But this situation right here specifically, a point of struggle. Has converted 1-1 to 1-2 just 49% of the time. Big league average 56%. Able to do so here, but you hear me talk about this count a lot, and it's because there's so much leverage to be had. If you're a hitter, you feel like you're going to get a good pitch to hit within the next 2 pitches. And if you're a pitcher, you feel like you got a couple pitches to play with should it be 1-2.
Kurtz with a swing and a miss. 4-seamer got him. 2 gone.
Jenny, you've introduced us to the umpiring crew. Let's take a closer look at Nate Tomlinson calling balls and strikes tonight. 6'4". He was the starting center for the Waupaca High School basketball team about 2 hours north of Milwaukee. Not surprisingly, has a vertical strike zone and has been overturned on just over half of the ABS challenges so far, 55%. So, big fella. Might like it high up in the zone. Maybe tough to track a little lower in the zone, but either way, as we said, a pitcher who can work or stretch the zone vertically might have some success.
1-0 count to Shea Langoliers. Pitch him for a strike.
And there you go. Fastball, like it may have even been up and out of the zone. Called a strike.
Shea lays off 2-1. Shea had his 13th homer of the season yesterday. Late in the game is also his 13th homer against the Seattle Mariners in his career. Shea's been so consistent offensively all season long, but the numbers at home even better. 357 is that batting average here in West Sacramento, 6th best in baseball on your home turf. And the pitch, a ground ball, but foul down the third baseline.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how Emerson Hancock fares tonight, because he has been fantastic on the road for the Mariners. But we understand what comes with pitching at this ballpark. Those road numbers could change quickly.
Has Langoliers in a full count. Lifted in the air, and this will get foul out of play. There's those splits you're talking about.
I mean, dominant at home at a 2.65 ERA. Up a run.
Swung on out towards left center field, and going to get it will be the center fielder in Julio Rodriguez. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the second, scoreless.
Welcome back. This high roller is brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino. We've talked about the journey to the big leagues for Gage Jump, how his last 2 starts helped push this man to the next level. 11 innings, just 8 hits allowed. Those 11 innings were shutout innings, and you've already seen the swing and miss stuff. He had 15 punch outs in those 11 innings. He's got 2 tonight here in his big league debut. J.B. Crawford down on strikes to start his major league career, and bookended the inning with an Arozarena punch out.
And a ground ball that'll get through on the left side. Naylor reaches with the base hit. First hit against Gage Jump.
Well, we've seen Naylor do this a few times, and we saw it back in Seattle as well. But Naylor gets a good fastball at the top of the strike zone. You see it a little while. You let it travel a little deeper into that strike zone instead of trying to get the head out around the ball. He just kind of stays inside of it, able to punch it through that left side. Here's the minor league numbers over 2 seasons for Gage Jump. 35 games, 33 of them starts, 3.58 ERA, 187 punch outs in 150 2/3 innings. I mean, the entire arsenal has swing and miss to it. You know, and talking to AAA pitching coach Paul Abbott, said, look, we've worked on a lot of different things with Gage Jump, and it's because he has a demand and an expectation of himself, and it's not to just be serviceable in the big leagues. He wants to be great. The same can be said for his arsenal. You know, it's understood you're probably going to have pitches that are just performing better than others.
Ground ball, this time on the right side. A couple of opposite field hits for the Mariners, first and second.
You know, and this is something that I think you'll get used to. I know it was something that I had to get used to, and early, but you're going to get professional type approaches in the big leagues, more so than you're going to see in AAA. And you had Naylor, who punched the ball through the left side, taking a nice easy swing on an elevated fastball there. Ref Snyder staying inside a breaking ball in the zone, and he punches it through the right side.
Now a big test. Mitch Garver up with 2 on and nobody out. A strike to Garver.
And that pitch is important because after 2 hits to start this inning, he's not chased out of the strike zone, still attacking.
One and one. Gage coming off PCL Pitcher of the Week honors. A nice outing against Albuquerque, 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, just 4 hits. Didn't walk a batter. Also important to note. Called strike on the 97-mile-an-hour fastball, 2-2.
Well, and that'll be key as well, I think, for Gage Jump to take ownership of the inside part of the plate. If he can do that, you can start to work those breaking balls off of that. And maybe something that I hope was communicated was, hey, look, in the event that Josh Naylor gets to second base, pay no attention to what he's doing out there in terms of his arms and signals, and he doesn't have anything. They don't have any info on you. You go attack.
And a one-hopper that gets past a diving Geloff into left field. Josh Naylor will head home. Refsnyder's also getting waved after the ball got lodged. And so the run will score. A double for Mitch Garver makes it 2-0 Mariners.
Well, you can see Soderstrom as he runs in, and Jenny, we're blocked off. Let's start with the fact that Garver puts a nice swing on a breaking ball down and in, and this ball gets lodged. So right here, you're going to see it get hung up. And there you see Tyler Soderstrom with the hands up. And because that ball is lodged, you can see it come to an abrupt stop. That ball is lodged, and it looks like they're going to take a look at it. And I think we'll see a runner end up headed back to third base here because that ball was lodged. Now, if Tyler Soderstrom would have gone for that baseball and played through it.
The call in the field is that the ball's in play. The Athletics are challenging that it was a lodged ball.
And they will win this challenge because the ball was clearly lodged. Take a look. What does lodge mean? Well, it means it's going to come to that right there, an abrupt stop. It's not jostling around. It's not moving. You can see Soderstrom has to reach down and under, pull that ball out from underneath because it's wedged between the padding of the wall and the ground. Sody was all over it. Jeff McNeil was all over it. I mean, this becomes, in my opinion, becomes a very easy call to make. Because this isn't a matter of opinion. The ball, again, came to an abrupt halt because it was lodged. And something you got to remember, if Soderstrom, based on where he's positioned, you know, maybe the umpires have a look. Maybe they're not quite sure if that ball just, because sometimes you'll see a ball check up underneath and kind of rattle around, but it's not lodged because there's space between the padding and the playing surface. In this instance, that is not the case. The ball is clearly stuck.
And you could see that when Tyler Soderstrom finally reached for the ball after having had his hands held up and realized that the umpires didn't see him and the play was still going. You have to now retrieve the ball and try and finish the play.
Yeah, so what I have here is Josh Naylor scores, Refsnyder to third, Garver to second. Here's the call.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. The ball was lodged. It is a ground rule double. By rule, one run will score and the other runners will be placed at second and third base.
And there you have it.
So great challenge. Good job by Tyler Soderstrom. Heads up out in left field. Saves a run. It's 1-0 Seattle. Three batters faced here in the second inning for Gage Jump. 3 hits. Runners on second and third for Cole Young. Left on left and a foul ball.
Well, you go back to the World Series, we saw that play unfold. The Dodgers wisely making that same judgment call as the defender put his hands up, said, The ball's lodged.
0-2 now for Young.
So that slider elevated, backed up a bit, but nonetheless got the swing.
And the pitch. This is low, 1-2. In the air to center field. Lawrence Butler will move towards his left, make the catch, and here comes the run home. Sacrifice fly indeed gets the second run across. 2-0 Seattle.
Well, at the end of the day, Mariners, able to execute. And what I was talking about with the Naylor at bat, the Ref Snyder at bat, and now here for Young, you're seeing a big league approach.
Victor Robles up, swing and a miss. Robles just 7 games this season, came in yesterday. Defensively, missed some time with a pec strain from early April until May 22nd. 0-2.
Now watch the arm swing. This is kind of what I was mentioning at the beginning. See him, that controlled fall down the mound, but that arm short, and it can be a little jabby at times. Looks like it's taking a little work to get that arm up, but it's just such a quick stroke.
And a one-hopper to short. It's going to go off Hernandez's glove. He'll chase it down. Stopping at third is Garver. First and third, and that's the 4th hit this inning.
Well, ball hit hard. One hopper to Hernandez. Got to take a few steps to his right to get to it. Right off the end of the glove of the shortstop. That'll bring out Scott Emerson. Slow this inning down here. Have a little meeting. This meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. And this is how quickly things can start to change for you. You go out and you have a great first inning. And then the next inning, you have the first 3 batters you face reach base via hit. You get your out, but there's 2 runs across. You look up and you're thinking, man, this kind of unfolded rather quickly. And that's where the mound meeting comes in, just trying to slow things down for the young left-hander.
Well, a ground ball could get you out of this one quickly. Let's see if he can induce something to Colt Emerson. Emerson, the 20-year-old rookie.
Well, something that Gage Jump had done a great job of in Vegas was stifling left-handers. Just 118 average against Gage Jump for lefties.
Jump had those 10 pitches in the first, now 21 pitches here in the second. 31 total. In the air and out of play.
You know, this at bat right here, if you just zoom out for a sec, I think it puts in perspective the state of the game and where we're at. You've got a young left-hander in Gage Jump, 23 years old. You've got a 20-year-old Colt Emerson. Both guys figured to be a big part of the future of both of these franchises. Squaring off here in the first time, or in the big leagues for the first time, and for the first time against each other. What could be one of many matchups against each other.
Colt drafted in 2023, a first rounder. Now full count. First Gage Jump was drafted by the Athletics in 2024 in the second round. The competitive balance round B that follows that second round.
There it is. We'll be patch hunting for that bad boy.
And the pitch missing low. It will load the bases. Off the walk to Colt Emerson and flip the order back to the beginning.
Well, the good news is J.P. Crawford has struggled mightily this year against left-handers as well. Just 178. He's already punched out once against Gage Jump. See, Jump wanted that. Close pitch.
There's the numbers for J.P. Crawford in his career with bases loaded. J.P. got involved in the offensive action last night.
Sure did. You said it at the beginning of the ball game. 4 homers for the Mariners last night. Would tie a season high. And I think right now you very well in real time could be seeing the Mariners saying, you know what, to heck with the off-speed stuff, the breaking balls. We're going to make him throw fastballs for strikes, and if he can do that, we're going to be waiting.
2-1 swung on to right field. Carlos Cortez tracking it down, and at the track will make the catch. Here comes another run. It's 3-0 off the sacrifice fly from J.P. Crawford. We talked earlier about professional at-bats, and the Mariners capitalizing here.
Well, Crawford had gotten a good look at that breaking ball first time around. Gets the same pitch here that he's able to stay on. This one a little more hittable. And there's probably even a little bit of mild frustration from Crawford, feeling like, man, I almost barreled that.
Robles had moved up to third, so now first and third for Julio Rodriguez. Need to fly out to center field, fouls off the first offering. As much as the Mariners have struggled against left-handed pitching as a team, hitting just 190, Rodriguez numbers against the southpaw, well, 309 is the batting average, and there's his numbers with runners in scoring position this year. Probably down by the standards of the Mariners center fielder. It was a big third inning yesterday for the Mariners. They scored 6 runs against Aaron Savali. He remained in the game through 4. Found out last night that shoulder tendonitis was going to put him on the shelf. So Aaron Savali heading to the IL. That's what made room for Gage Jump to get the call up.
Well, you could just tell last night, I think early, and I was just kind of waiting to see if the velocity was going to tick up, but it just never did. And I think you saw it on all the offerings, and that's kind of how things have unfolded.
2-1, a ground ball. Hernandez will go to first, and that will end the second here. 4 hits, 3 runs, and the Mariners up 3-0. Now for the Blue Moon bright spot. Most quality starts with 5+ strikeouts and 1 or fewer walks. Emerson Hancock on the list. He has 5 of those, tied with Christopher Sanchez and Drew Rasmussen. Both having great seasons. Joe Ryan on that list with 5 as well. Paul Skeens with 4 of those. That's some good company to keep.
Well, the fact that Emerson Hancock has dialed up a minimum of 5 innings in each and every start this season. You know, we're in a day and age where we understand, and I mean, it is what it is. The expectation is not to go 7 innings, 8 innings. Not like those are just not the expectations these days.
0-2 to Rooker. Pitch missing low.
So I think to see a guy who's been able to take the baseball consistently and get into the 6th and 7th. I mean, he's finished 7 innings just 1 time this season. But the fact that you're getting at least 15 outs or more every time that Emerson Hancock takes the baseball, it makes it, you know, just that much easier, I think, for Dan Wilson to be able to navigate that bullpen.
Swing and a miss for Rooker. Went to the heater, 2 strikeouts for Hancock.
Well, friends over at StatCast going to give you a look at the velo for Emerson Hancock. 95 mile an hour on the 4-seam fastball, about 95 or so on that sinking fastball. Pull the string on the changeup, that gets you 87, a little 85 mile an hour wrinkle as well. And he himself, a deep arsenal.
1-0 here for Tyler Soderstrom.
Well, I mentioned just how efficient Emerson Hancock has been with the first pitch, and it's been lights out.
Ground ball chopped to the third baseman and Cole Emerson. 2 gone.
And that other number you saw there, the 38.7% first pitch strike rate, tied for 5th in baseball. Those are byproducts of each other, right? If I am constantly in the strike zone early, the opposition starts to feel the heat. From an offensive perspective, you go up to the plate, you tell yourself, look, I'm going to get a strike early. And it might be the best pitch to hit the entire at bat. Why not offer? And when those start to turn into outs, you can understand why Hancock has been able to carve out at least 5 innings every time he takes the baseball.
And the line drive into the glove at J.P. Crawford at short. 3 up, 3 down once again for Hancock.
Welcome back. Time now for Wire Cam, brought to you by the good folks over at Defy. Sights and sounds of the big league debut from the southpaw. Gage jump on the bump, making his second tour through this Mariner lineup. Here to start the third, it'll be Randy Arozarena to get it popping.
Randy was one of the 2 strikeouts, and he swings at the first pitch, pops it up. This is going out to the outfield. Left fielder Tyler Soderstrom with the catch, and 1 out. It's a good way to get back on the bump for jump. Just wanted to jump on your fun saying.
I think you've hit the quota. Fair to say you've hit the quota.
Well, you dangled the bait online. You took to X earlier today, and you started punning with jump, and I thought, hey, if you're going to get in on it, you might as well jump in too, you know?
You took that as an invitation, I see.
It's going to be an ABS challenge on the ball call. Shea Langoliers.
The catcher's challenge.
Close, very close. I feel like it just a hair
Calls
off.
confirmed. The Athletics have 1 challenge remaining.
This ABS is powered by T-Mobile. Taylor and Langoliers having a little chuckle.
I mean, those are the tough ones, right? Ball, strike, clearly could have gone either way.
He's down to just 1 challenge here in the 3rd inning. Two-0 count for Naylor. He's collected 9 hits against the Athletics now in the season series. Serves this to center field. Lawrence coming in. Lawrence with the catch. So jump able to get the ball in the air, and now from Soderstrom and left, 1 from Lawrence in center. Maybe Refsnyder in the air to right. Complete the trio in the outfield.
Well, and
for outs here.
Understanding the arsenal from Gage jump, right? You've got a low slot with a high right fastball. You got that big curveball there that they have to contend with. I mean, you see a pitch up in the zone, feels like you want to be able to go after it, because Gage could be doing more of the heavy lifting with that ride. At times you're going to see guys get under that. You end up clipping the bottom of the ball. And in a game of inches, I mean, you're a millimeter or so away from F7 or a long ball.
Well, Gage quickly has Refsnyder 0-2.
Look out.
It hit Langoliers. Well, Refsnyder's heading down to first.
Well, it looked like it ricocheted. See this ball, it looks like it's going to catch Refsnyder on the knob of the bat and then Langoliers in the armpit. I got to believe we very well could see Refsnyder come back. Man, I mean, that looks like it's knob. I mean, I know you see the finger move, but that's just because of impact on the bat, in my opinion. Doesn't look like they're interested at all in taking a look. Here's another peek. And I mean, and there's no immediate reaction from Refsnyder.
He kind of hung around home plate for a second, and then as soon as they started looking at Langoliers, that's when he decided to walk down to first. Nevertheless, traffic again, and now Mitch Garver up. Pitch outside. Garver had the ground rule double. Got lodged under the padding out in left field, so wisely Tyler Soderstrom was able to stop the action, and although there was no call in the field, Athletics able to challenge review and get a run back. Would ultimately score, though. 3 runs for the Mariners scored in the second. Two and one.
Well, after a first inning, which we saw Gage Jump do a really nice job of getting ahead, filling up the strike zone. Seen him now fall behind a couple times. You know, this is where what I mentioned last half inning, you start to fall behind. The other team starts to sense a tentativeness to get back into the strike zone after that big second inning. They're just going to start to wait you out.
Here's the 3-1. Garver swings on it into left field. Tyler Soderstrom's not going to get there. Left his feet. It bounces off his glove. Lawrence will have to pick it up, and Refsnyder will move up to third. Second hit of the game for Mitch Garver.
Well, you'll see Soderstrom coming to your screen in the left, makes a hard charge at it off the bat, goes into a slide, try to gathers a short hop. Ball goes off the glove, and I think that's probably why the Mariners were able to advance. Refsnyder now on third base.
Pitch to Cole Young on the ground, and Jeff McNeil will make the final out of the third. 2 left on for the Mariners. Three 3-0 Mariners lead the Athletics. We go to the bottom of the third, and you know, Tuesdays it's Sacramento SPCA night. You can adopt a dog if you get here early enough, and we got a couple of furry friends here. This is Neptune. Dallas, I mean, you basically hogged Mango over there. Here he goes. There he goes. A ground ball, Geloff to J.P. Crawford. And one out here in the bottom of the third. I mean, can you give him some room to breathe? You've been all over him since he got up here. These guys are so cute.
Such a good pup.
So cute. So if you get out to the ballpark early on Tuesdays, a chance to adopt a dog. And I know you and Chris have been listening when you've been here on Tuesdays. Is Chris going to accept one of these animals?
I think Chris is still working on Estropajo. But Neptune's feeling things out. Yes. Yes. Hello.
Finally, you're giving Neptune some love.
Hello.
He was very jealous of Mango after you just gave him all the attention.
Pretty good seat, huh, Nep?
I think you carry dog treats on you. That's why they like you more. Just walk around with those.
Hello.
Butler on the ground left side. Cole Emerson Across the diamond and another ground ball out. 8 faced now for Emerson Hancock and 8 retired. That'll bring up Daryl Hernandez with 2 outs.
Well, it's the first time we've had dogs out in the booth and you're wearing closed-toed shoes, Jenny.
Oh my goodness. This is what you're going to run with all season? Hi, guys.
Well, I love the fact that this is something that the SPCA here in Sacramento has done. You get to come out to the ball game. You get to make some friends. Maybe find a forever home for these pups. They do incredible work at the SPCA, linking these animals to those forever homes. But imagine being able to come out to the ball game, watch your favorite team win, and you get to go home a winner with a friend.
That's going to be a fair ball. Daryl Hernandez will be tagged out by Mitch Garver. So 3 up, 3 down once again, and we'll go to the top of the 4th, but not before Dallas will get a love from the pup.
Mark your calendars for Wednesday, June 17th. Celebrate Glenbrook Pride Night as the A's take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Come out for a night of community inclusion and can't miss baseball. Get in on the fun right now at athletics.com/tickets.
Back here in West Sacramento on the night of Gage Jump's Major League debut. Victor Robles with a 1-0 count. It'll be the bottom of the order. Robles and Colt Emerson, and then the leadoff hitter and J.P. Crawford due up. Called strike on the slider, 1-1. Dallas, you've been through one of these, and I know you spent a lot of time with Gage Jump at spring training, and you guys have had conversations about what this moment might look like. He certainly met it out of the gate. We saw 2 strikeouts. Very efficient and quick first inning. Unfortunately, traffic piled up on him in the second off of 4 hits. Scored the 3 runs. It was nice to see him bounce back in the 3rd, even through traffic, able to get that final out.
And it won't be until after this outing where you're able to, kind of step back and remove yourself from it and assess certain moments. And that's what makes guys special, is the ability to adapt sooner rather than later and make those adjustments. And look, it's a lot to ask in your big league debut to be able to block out some of that emotion.
Liner into left, a base hit added for Victor Robles as he heads towards second. Here's the throw from Soderstrom, and into second just in time is Robles with the double.
This fastball looks like it starts to work its way in to Robles, who's waiting. Ball driven. Robles with a leadoff double, but that's something that you do. You almost have to wait until after the fact to really dive into the outing. Tough to do in the moment, because again, you're trying to separate some of the emotion you felt. I mean, it is the cliche emotional roller coaster. You're excited about making your debut. You get off to a great start. You punch out 2 of the first 3 hitters you face in the big leagues, and then the second inning feels like it was never going to end.
Yeah, I can imagine the day probably feels like a time warp, right? From the moment you get the call, it's all a blur, a whirl. You're going through that pregame routine, trying to just focus yourself in. You talked about floating on the mound in that first inning. Everything seems magnified, I'm sure, and also like it's flying by so quickly.
Well, that's the challenge, is being able to compartmentalize and realize, hey, look, it's one thing to be excited and appreciate where I'm at, but I also have to get to work.
2-1, fouled.
I think still plenty of time, plenty of opportunity for this young man to be able to put that second inning behind him and finish his outing on a high note. For instance, should he be able to get out of this inning after the leadoff double unscathed, you feel pretty good about that.
And swing and a miss. Jump goes to the sweeper, third strikeout.
Well, this pitch maybe not quite the glove side finish they're looking for, but nonetheless, the combination of movement and velocity, even though that ball looks like it just doesn't quite get to where it wanted to be.
Swung on for J.P. Crawford, and a tough one for Daryl Hernandez. Can't get there. That ball lands in left field, and now the second hit of the inning. First and third.
Well, J.P. Crawford now with a couple productive at-bats. Sac fly in the second, and now here just kind of sticking the bat out there. This baseball is able to find grass just beyond Daryl Hernandez.
That'll bring Julio Rodriguez 0 for 2 tonight.
Well, Julio hit a ball hard in that second inning. Ground ball to Hernandez.
Now 106 off the bat, and here's the liner into left. That'll score the 4th run of the game. Rodriguez picking up an RBI off his single.
No waiting around for Julio. Catches a slider down, able to get the barrel out. I mean, Robles did a nice job of getting to a fastball that was pulled in. Now Julio jumping all over a first pitch breaking ball.
First and second one out for Randy Arozarena. He swings at the first offering as well and fouls it back. Randy's 0 for 2, had a strikeout. He also had a fly out to left. He has been one of the hottest Mariners hitters here over the last 3 weeks. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Randy swinging it well away from the friendly confines of Safeco. 351 average on the road.
And a liner in to left again. A stop sign at third. Single for Randy will load the bases.
Fastball, or excuse me, slider. Langoliers was tucked in on the hip pocket of Randy. Again, ball just never got there. Kind of stayed in the middle, and Randy, much like Julio, able to put another good swing on it. At a meeting on the mound, brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Looks like left-hander Jose Suarez going to start to move around, play a little catch.
Just one out, nowhere to put Josh Naylor here. 1 for 2 as a single, scored a run. Swing and a miss for Naylor. Ground ball chopped to second. McNeil, Hernandez to first, and a double play to get him out of it. One did score, and it's 4-0 Mariners. The 2026 All-Star Teacher Award presented by Provident Credit Union. Go to NBCSportsCalifornia.com/AST to check out Kristen Kircher of Berry Elementary School in Yuba City, as well as other finalists, and vote for your All-Star Teacher. The grand prize winning teacher school will receive $30,000. Vote now. Hanging out at the ballpark on a Tuesday night, getting ready for summer. These kids are primed and ready. With the weather, hasn't felt very summer-like as of late. Still a little chilly tonight.
We actually had a rainbow breakthrough just before first pitch. A's looking for a pot of gold here tonight against a Mariner club who has frankly swung the bat quite well over the first game and a half so far.
Here it is. Ask and you shall receive. It's beautiful. With the Tower Bridge glimmering. 0-1 count here for Carlos Cortez. Well, you combo what the Mariners offense has done with the pitching now. And we're seeing why Emerson Hancock forced his way into this Mariners starting rotation. Swung on for Cortez, out to left field, and a catch for Randy Arozarena. One gone, and that'll bring up Nick Kurtz. Hancock making his 11th start here. It's the absence of Bryce Miller where they needed someone to step up. He did that and then some. So much so that the Mariners now have well, I should say they have 6 starters. Six-man rotation wasn't working for them, so they coupled some up. Luis Castillo, Bryce Miller are now a pair. They're a piggyback pair.
There you go. Coupled them up. Piggyback. That's what they're doing. They're piggybacking.
Yeah, just changes who's carrying who on whose back each night. Here's the 0-1 by Kurtz to even up the count.
Yeah, and you know what? Credit due to Luis Castillo and Bryce Miller, because it's not easy to navigate something they're both learning to navigate for the first time in their career. And there's a lot that comes along with it. We kind of touched on it during last night's ball game. You know, from the mental preparation to physical preparation, understanding that the roles have changed.
It'll continue to be a hot topic of conversation, especially as their next go-around comes up. The 2-1 is swing and a miss. Kurtz and Emerson Hancock have a little history this year.
Yep, and that ball was history. Nick Kurtz with a great swing on a fastball up out over the plate.
It was one of 3 A's home runs that day against Hancock. This one well struck to center field, and Julio Rodriguez will be there to meet it. 2 gone. I'll bring up Shea Langeliers for the second time.
Ball hit hard, just kind of right into the orbit of Julio Rodriguez.
What do you think about that last outing on April 20th that Hancock saw the Athletics? 5+ innings for him, 7 hits, 3 of those for homers. It was Kurtz, Cortez, and Langeliers. And he only has allowed 8 total home runs this season, 3 of them in that one game against the A's. Last 2 batters that he saw in that outing, it's the top of the 6th, and it was Kurtz and Langeliers going back to back. Here, 0-1 count for Shea. Pitch high in the air. This is going to go into foul territory, and right there to meet it is Cole Emerson. Another 3 up, 3 down. Hancock's faced the minimum through 4.
The game early Saturday, June 20th. Why? Well, it's the highly anticipated J. Willie bobblehead night. Brought to you by Red Hawk Resort Casino. Early and arriving fans will secure the exclusive bobblehead celebrating our all-star shortstop. You are not going to want to miss this. You need to go get your tickets right now at athletics.com/promotions and join the fun. Get you a J. Willie bobbler.
That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Good matchup here. The boys from the OC. Major League debut for Gage Jump. Aliso Viejo, California. right around Laguna Beach, and that's where Rob Refsnyder grew up. Born in Korea and adopted by his parents. Grew up in California. Jump would love nothing more than to get him out this time. It's been a single hit by pitch for Refsnyder. Mariners have 9 hits against Gage Jump, 4 runs. We're seeing the velocity down around 94, 95 right now. Early in the game, coming out hot.
Well, and I think that can easily be just chalked up to adrenaline.
No doubt. What, pretty big night for Gage?
You could say so.
There's the average on the velocity tonight. 96 is with that 4-seamer's coming in. Reached 97.9 early in the game. 3-2 count. Fly ball, and Cortez is going to run out of room as it heads out of play. It'll be a fan's ball. Whoever gets to it first out there. Danger zone out there. You got to bring like knee pads, perhaps a helmet. If you want a ball, there's going to be some collisions. Looks like he made his wife happy. Now it's going to be ABS challenge for Shea Langoliers. Didn't like the ball call.
Yeah, Shea was,
the catcher's challenging.
Shea was all over. It looked like a pretty good pitch on that lower rail there. And they will indeed get their strike call.
The batter's out.
Refsnyder going to have to take a detour from first back to the dugout.
That's a good way to start the 5th inning here for Gage. 4th strikeout on the night of his major league debut. Wearing number 61. Does that look familiar to you?
Indeed it does.
80 pitches right now for Gage, and the first to Mitch Garver. Swung on and fouled.
You know, and Jenny, I can tell you right now, that's about the only thing similar between Gage Jump and I. 61, and we're both left-handed. Outside of that, everything coming out of this dude's hand, exceptional. Significantly better stuff than I ever thought about having.
His numbers jump off the page a little more than yours.
All right. I tap.
Uncle, you're going to give in?
But, I mean, 96 and the bevy of breakers. And I had one below average breaking ball. He's got 3 swing and miss breaking balls.
8 swing and misses tonight. His entire arsenal. Popped up. And Jeff McNeil will catch it in the grass in shallow right. 2 gone. Does this figure to be kind of the finale here for Gage Jump, or where do you think his outing will take him?
Well, it could be. I mean, we're working into the neighborhood of 90 pitches. You've gotten through 5 innings, and I understand that, you know, it probably hasn't gone quite how you would have hoped. You'd like to see a lot more of what you got in that first inning, and not necessarily the punch outs, but just the 3 up, 3 down, the efficient inning, because he just hasn't had one of those since that first inning.
Well, if this is the final one, it'd be nice to bookend it with a couple clean innings. The 1-1 to Cole Young.
Well, an opportunity to do just that, Jenny. You book in your outing with what could be a couple of strikeouts in each of those innings.
And the pitch, that's a foul tip strikeout. 5 strikeouts for Gage Jump through 5 innings of work in his major league debut.
authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the entire season covered. Visit MLBshop.com/athletics, the official source for your athletics gear.
Bottom of the fifth, and it'll be the middle of the order that Emerson Hancock is facing. Athletics Brent Rooker, Tyler Soderstrom, Jeff McNeil. He's looking to get something going here.
Well, the day is done for Gage Jump. Handshake from the skipper. So welcome to the big leagues. Take in the rest of the ball game, either from the dugout. You'll probably see Gage Jump head to the clubhouse at some point. Maybe not. You know, funny story. My big league debut, I walked into the clubhouse after my outing and just kind of sat there and took it in. And then towards the end of the game, because it was getaway day, I didn't want to be late. I didn't really know what to do. So I got in the shower and had gotten dressed, and one of the guys that had come in after me out of the bullpen came up and looked at me and goes, "Dude, what are you doing? Well, why are you dressed right now?" And I told him, I just, I don't want to screw up. I don't want to be late. I just want to be ready to go whenever we go. I don't know what's going on. And he's like, "Put your uniform back on, guy."
And you had the lead, right, in this game?
Yeah.
So you have to go shake hands at some point if you guys win, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, again, my day was done. I'm just, okay, now I go up to the clubhouse and what else is there for me to do? And that's when, sure, you get out, you go shake hands, and now, I got up to the clubhouse after the fact, and there was a spirited shower.
Yeah, there was.
That followed, but I think that's just how you have no idea.
You don't know until you know, right?
What's going on?
It's your first.
And me just trying to err on the side of not being a moron, which I blew that one.
Great battle for Brent Rooker. 10 pitches in the plate appearance, works a full count, works a walk, and now the A's finally have a base runner.
Love that. Love that.
Check that box. See if we can check another box here with Tyler Soderstrom coming up. So did you put the dirty uniform back on?
Oh, yeah.
And into center field, check. Base runner, first hit.
Well, hopefully it was Rooker who got the party started. Sody showed up with party favors. See if we can't turn the music up a little and get to dancing. Sody's staying inside a fastball there.
I like your style, sir. Let's see what Jeff McNeil has in store the second time facing Emerson Hancock tonight. Hancock was on quite a roll there through the first 4 innings. He had 2 strikeouts, let his defense do the rest of the work. Small sample for McNeil, 0 for 3 against Hancock. One game in the books for Gage Jump. Looking on.
Well, hopefully now, after you've gotten a couple base runners here, this offense can start to dig in a little against Hancock.
Here's the 0-2.
No.
Held up. Carlos Torres agrees.
So does Bruce Dreckman.
I had a good laugh after the game about Bruce Dreckman last night, and just sitting there. Every time they check down, he's going to call a guy out in the air to left, and Randy Rosarina reaches up with the glove to make the catch. Rooker's going to move up to third, first and third with one out.
Well, Josh Naylor was asking to take a look at second base because they thought that Tyler Soderstrom, I think maybe had, or no, it was Brent Rooker that had tagged, but I looked like Naylor was talking about going to second base just to check on it.
That'll bring up Zach Geloff with one out. Zach swung at the first pitch and grounded out to the shortstop in the third inning. Takes one here, 1-0. th start at third base tonight for Zach. It's always hard to imagine from spring training when you kind of piece where all the guys might fit in. Not sure you looked this far to think about Zach Geloff as the third baseman of the Athletics, but he's found a home there, filling in nicely for the injured Max Muncy.
Well, I don't think you saw him as the center fielder either.
No.
He's, I think, filled in both those spots quite nicely.
It's been great to see Muncy this homestand. BP yesterday, some infield drills. Swung on, and a long foul ball for Zach Geloff. Here's the 1-2. Lawrence Butler on deck. Close pitch inside to hitting Geloff. Misses.
Almost clipped him.
2-2 count. Pitch 7 coming Geloff's way. In the air. And this will be for J.P. Crawford. Two outs, and that'll bring up Lawrence Butler.
Well, they're going to have a brief little chit-chat here with the Law Dog stepping up. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price.
With Naylor joining, what's that conversation entail?
Probably Naylor just being nosy. Feeling lonely over there at first base.
Just Naylor getting involved.
Hey, what are you guys talking about?
Sick of talking to Sodi over there at first.
Well, it might be, you know.
Had to find some new company.
It's a combination. You got left-handed Lawrence Butler up there and just saying, hey, you never know. Don't forget about him over here.
So take a pitch, 1-0. Won an inning. where you get Brent Rooker on via a walk in the first hit of the game, and Tyler Soderstrom with nobody out. Hate to come up empty here. Seen the A's come up with 2 out RBIs. It feels like more often than not in games. And now Emerson Hancock's pitch total run up here in the 5th. 26 pitches so far this inning after he was very efficient. And there's that check over on Soderstrom. Hancock was cruising through the first 12 batters faced. Two and one for Lawrence.
Well, cruising until that leadoff walk by Brent Rooker, or the good at bat by Rook. Remember, Emerson just one of 5 pitchers this year to allow 3 or fewer walks over those 5+ innings pitched.
Been tough sledding for Lawrence lately. 2 for his last 23. That's over the span of the last 2 weeks. There's the pitch, a close one, takes it, and it's going to be an ABS challenge for Mitch Garver.
The ball
looked
the
out.
catcher's challenging.
Yep, and it was.
The call is overturned. Excuse me, the call is confirmed. Seattle has 1 challenge remaining.
So both teams with 1 challenge left in the game. A 3-2 count, 2 outs, and runners on the corners. Soderstrom taking off. Here's the pitch, and it's foul.
Well, not a bad at bat here from Lawrence Butler. Pitch number 7 on its way.
And the payoff with the runner going, a dribbler. And it's going to be a fair ball over to first from Garver to Naylor. He steps on the bag, and the inning is over. So the A's got 2 runners on, but both remain on the base path.
By your California Ford dealers. Gauge jump season. Big league debut for the left-hander. Got through 5 innings. Punched out 5, 88 pitches. Mariners, who have swung the bat well here in these first 2 ball games, able to string together a big 2nd inning where the majority of their damage was done tonight.
Jump still hanging with the boys in the dugout. Called strike from Jose Suarez in the game now.
Left-hander Suarez making his 14th appearance this season. Seen him a lot here since his arrival with the Athletics.
He's seen a couple different uniforms this year. 1-1 count for Victor Robles, who is 2 for 2 this evening in Sacramento.
Tell you, Victor Robles got that Gene Segura going. Set up at the plate, the hands out. I mean, that is Gene the hit machine.
And right on cue, Dallas, another hit for him. 3 for 3.
Victor rolled the Polvolis. He just swung it and swung it well. Have yourself a night. A couple of singles and a double on the night. Scored. Second time now he's led the inning off with a hit.
Cole Emerson swings at the first pitch, pops it up in the infield. Hernandez with the catch, 1 out. Well, now let's get a word from the Sacramento airport. One on and 1 out for the Mariners here in the top of the 6th. And leadoff hitter J.P. Crawford back up, taking off. And into second.
Got him.
Goes Victor Robles, but yes, indeed, the tag applied and out. Caught stealing. Quickly 2 gone. Mariners aren't going to take a look at it.
Nope, I think it'll be fairly clear once you get a good peek at it. Robles off the bat, tag applied by Hernandez, and that's a done deal. Coming in hot.
I'm sure there's no better feeling for a pitcher after you give up the leadoff hit. Be able to get that base runner out. Some help from your catcher, and of course, Darell Hernandez applying the tag.
Well, I love it. Suarez, I believe he was motioning to Rodriguez, Julio, who's on deck, saying, hey, beat it.
And a 1-hopper over to McNeil. 3 came up, 3 outs, and we'll move to the bottom of the 6th with Darell Hernandez leading off. A's Baseball is brought to you by Law Tigers, Northern California's motorcycle lawyers at lawtigers.com. Back here in West Sacramento tonight, beautiful sky. As we go to the bottom of the 6th, Darell Hernandez will lead it off, and hopefully with a hit. Unfortunately, it's gloved by the right fielder in Victor Robles.
Well, ball well struck off the bat of Darell. Unfortunately, slicing right in to the glove of Victor Robles. See Julio into a nice little slide in the background. Just been tough night for the Athletics offensively. Emerson Hancock had quieted him through 4. Not a hit, not a base runner, nothing. And then it was a leadoff walk from Brent Rooker, followed by a knock by Tyler Soderstrom that got that 5th inning going. But then 3 outs in a row for the right-hander. Put the threat to bed. Got Eduardo Bizardo starting to loosen up now as Emerson Hancock works his way through this 6th inning. 71 pitches, pitch count still in good shape.
Yeah, 2 times through the A's order, just those 2 base runners, as you mentioned, a walk and a hit. And now a 3-0 count to Carlos Cortez.
And Hancock's been up as high as 103 this year. That was in his 7-inning performance against the Royals.
And Kurt's waiting on deck, see if Cortez can get on for him. There's a called strike.
And Hancock has only thrown fewer pitches in 1 other outing aside from his last, and that was in the 2nd start of the season against the Halos.
A take and a walk. Second walk issued by Hancock. Put Cortez on for Nick Kurtz, coming to the plate for the 3rd time here tonight, and we see a couple of Mariners now warming up. As Ferrer has joined Bizardo. A lefty and a righty. Kurtz sitting on 48 consecutive games reaching base. Tied Mark McGwire for a single season franchise record yesterday.
Well, folks that are showing up to the ballpark these days, Jenny, are doing so excited just to see Nick Kurtz continue the streak. I was talking to some folks who were down watching batting practice on the field this afternoon, and they said, how many is it now? 68? Or is it 48? It's 48. We're getting there. Chasing Big Mac. The fact that, I mean, it's a point of conversation amongst the fans. I think folks across baseball have obviously taken notice.
Sitting here in the sixth with a 3-1 count. Pitts has walked 52 times this season. Manny takes the pitch for a strike. Take a timeout with the full count.
Well, if Kurtz could get on base, and whether it's with a walk or a knock, now you start to get in a position where one swing can start to change things. Fight off a fastball now, 3-2. But you got Langoliers looming on deck. And I'd be curious to see if Nick Kurtz does reach base. Do they end up going to that bullpen? Langoliers going to see Hancock for the third time.
And the payoff. Strike three.
Well, and not much argument from Nick Kurtz there. Well-placed fastball right on the top shelf by Hancock. The big fella not able to pull the trigger. I mean, that's about as good of a pitch as it gets in terms of height. And remember, we told you at the beginning of the ballgame, Nate Tomlinson, as Langoliers is going to sew one on. No intent, 70-mile-an-hour sweeper. He'll be all right. Looks like we're going to have a mound meeting. See Shea right off the lower half.
Two base runners with 2 outs for Brent Rooker.
Woodworth ultimately just making sure, hey, get a pretty good idea of what you're doing here against Brent Rooker. We know what the attack plan is. Just go out there and execute it. Rooker down on strikes in his first at bat. As we said, was the first base runner of the night for the A's back in the 5th with a walk.
Here's the pitch. In the air, shallow right, going foul. Naylor on it. Naylor at the netting, and it's an out. Caught it. Marcotte's hand is up as the Athletics review the tape to see if they want to challenge.
It looked like Naylor's glove ends up getting to the net first. Yeah, and that's going to be an out. That's a great play by Josh Naylor.
The A's are going to challenge it, so we will go to New York.
I mean, you got
the Athletics are challenging the call of catch.
Because what you're going to see here, I believe, is Naylor use the glove to push the netting. And what's going to matter is whether or not that ball, and I'm not sure that we can necessarily see it from our perspective, on the way down, clips the netting ever so slightly. But you can see Naylor making a very conscious effort to push the netting first so that the ball doesn't clip it on the way down. And if we stop it right there, Oh, you know what?
The ball clips the netting.
It does. It sure does. Right at the top. Right there.
Yep.
You can see it. It ends up clipping it because you can see the netting move, and that's not Naylor's glove creating the movement. That's the baseball creating the movement. You almost see the wave effect. See if we can't give you a tighter look at this here. Right. You're going to watch the fella in the white hat. Right there. Right there is where it ends up clipping the netting. Right there. Right there. You see the ball start to redirect.
Still waiting on New York, and the answer there. The rulebook states that if the ball hits the netting before being caught, it is an uncaught dead ball.
After review, the call in the field is overturned. It was not a catch. The ball hit the net. The count on the batter is 0-1.
Well, that's a great job by the folks back in New York to be able to dissect that.
Great job inside the A's clubhouse as well for them to get that call so quick and want a challenge.
Josh Naylor having a little fun with Mark Wegner. Hey, good effort. I respect it. And in all seriousness, for him to get over to the netting and consciously push that netting away as much as he could and still make the plate, not easy to do. So a nice try, but not so much. Now let's see if Brent Rooker can't turn it into something here with 2 outs.
So a couple minutes interrupted this rhythm of Hancock here towards the end of the 6th. He has 2 on and back to the business of Rooker. A pitch out of the zone, 1-1. Rooker 2 for 5 career with the walk off of Hancock.
Don't leave one of those sliders middle.
The 2-1. Rooker gets a piece of it, and it's going to be a foul ball. The first baseline. Making Naylor work over there.
So you make a mistake, Brent Rooker can make you pay, and we've been down this road before with Hancock, and there's that slider that stays close. And Brent Rooker gave it a ride. It was a couple years ago up in Seattle. Two here. Let's see if Emerson Hancock decides to heat him up with that fastball up top. It's been a good pitch for Emerson.
Deuce is wild. 2 on, 2 outs. The 2-2, a ground ball to the shortstop Crawford. He'll go the short way, and they get out of the 6th. We'll move on to the 7th as the A's trail by 4. Better coverage and bigger savings with Xfinity Mobile, and get Wi-Fi plus 5G that won't strike out. Xfinity, imagine that. Through 6 here in West Sacramento, game 2. 3-game set against the Mariners, and it's been all Mariners today. 4-0 lead. Julio Rodriguez, Randy Arozarena, and Josh Naylor coming up. Jose Suarez continues to work out of the pen, taking over for Gage Jump. Popped up into foul territory. Langoliers, and it landed his glove. 1 gone. Hustle from the backstop.
Well, the Mariners have out-hit the Athletics in these first 2 games to this point, 22-8. We talked about the lack of success against left-handed pitching specifically for the Mariners coming into the ball game. 190 average, worst in baseball. 277 on base percentage, worst in baseball. The slugging and the OPS, as you can figure out, both the worst in baseball. They put together 9 hits and 4 runs, and you can see Suarez. Oh, Suarez pointing to Naylor, telling Naylor to move over, and Naylor saying, why don't you pay attention somewhere else? Suarez pointed to Naylor and asked him to scoot over, and Naylor obliged and then scooted right back to where he was after pointing towards the outfield.
Ground ball but foul. Naylor pointing in a game. We've seen that a few times. The base path, the on deck circle. And a swing and a miss. High fastball gets Randy Arozarena to strike out. 2 gone.
Good elevated heater, well up and out of the strike zone. Randy went fishing.
That'll bring up Josh Naylor. Suarez was acquired from the Seattle Mariners. That was on May 14th for cash considerations. Started the season with Atlanta. Waived off waivers by Seattle. Don't last there too long. Designated for assignment by the Mariners just 11 days later. Has Naylor 0-2. Mariners first baseman's 1 for 3 tonight. And he serves this into right field. Cortez won't be able to get there. And Josh Naylor with another multi-hit effort against the A's this season.
Well, it was a good at bat in the second inning for his first plate appearance. He shot a ball to the left side. This one off the end, just kind of helicoptered out there, dunked in front of Cortez.
It was the 10th hit for Naylor against the A's. 10 for 20.
Looks like that may have
Levels, yep.
caught the blouse of Refsnyder.
Second time that Refsnyder has been hit by a pitch. Katse coming out of the dugout.
Well, they're going to keep it moving. Not going to argue about the hit by pitch. Looks like Mark Katse going to make a call to the bullpen. It'll be Justin Sterner into the game with 2 on, 2 out. Sterner will face Mitch Garver. A's Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
A night full of promise. It was a major league debut for Gage Jump. Unfortunately, gave up the 4 runs that the Mariners have. Top of the 7th, they're threatening again. 2 on and 2 outs, and a pitching change here with Justin Sterner coming in to face Mitch Garver. Refsnyder got on with a hit by pitch. These Mariners have quite a few of those this year. 38 hit by pitches is second in Major League Baseball.
Well, Mariner club not afraid to get up on the plate. And if your offense has been struggling, you're looking for any way you can to get on base. Not saying they'll grow up looking to get hit, but I think it's just part of the game you play as a hitter at times, where you're trying to own one side or the other of the strike zone.
Pitch to Garver, a ground ball to Geloff, and he'll run it over to third base for the final out. We'll stretch here in Sacramento with some offensive work to do.
Rays take on the Pinstripes. That starts this Friday. The Yankees are in town. You can kick off the summer with a high-stakes weekend featuring a beach towel giveaway for Sacramento Saturday and a kids' water bottle giveaway for Stompin' Sunday. Don't miss the chance to see this legendary AL matchup. Get your tickets right now at athletics.com/tickets.
Luis Severino is going to start against his former club. Over the weekend was supposed to be the starter today, and then the Athletics called up Gage Jump and moved things around. It'll be Jeffrey Springs tomorrow in the finale against Seattle. Right now it's the left-hander and Jose Ferrer on for the Mariners.
Well, I think with that rotation manipulation, I just highlighted the numbers for the Mariners against left-handed pitching coming into the ball game tonight. So if you can move some things around, have Springs, the left-hander, face this club. As of right now, you're looking to just try to salvage a series should things stay the same. 6 innings, 1 hit, no runs, a couple walks, 3 strikeouts for Emerson Hancock on 87 pitches.
Swung up for Tyler Soderstrom and to center field. That'll be a fly ball out for Julio Rodriguez. That's going to bring up a pinch hitter as Mark Kotze goes to his bench. A right-hander Colby Thomas coming up. Colby with a couple of pinch hits this season, 2 for 6 as a pinch hitter. Speaking of the Yankees coming to town, did you see what they did today in Kansas City?
15 spot?
Yeah, they put up a few runs. Scored 4 in the first and then just kept scoring. Scored in every single inning except for the 4th and the 6th. 24 hits, 15 runs.
That's a barrage.
Ed Rosario homered twice in a 4-hit performance for him. And Schlittler, who's been so good, 7-2 with a 1.50 ERA. He will not be facing the Athletics in West Sacramento, so that's good news.
Darn.
Oh shoot! Catch him next time. Numbers for Thomas against lefties. We saw that last year, seeing it again this season. 357 average. Here's the 0-2. Foul back again.
Well, Ferrer is a nasty left-hander. See the good velocity on the fastball. Got some good life to it.
That'll be to the second baseman and Cole Young. 2 gone. Zach Geloff will walk up for the 3rd time tonight. The Rangers also put up double digits today. They beat the Astros after getting blanked yesterday in a combined no-hitter. A 10-7 win against Houston. And the Angels won 10-6 over the Tigers.
Tigers trying to put something together.
My goodness. Not the season you thought they'd have. Of course, you also didn't think Tarek Skubal would end up having surgery to remove some loose bodies.
I'm sure Tigers fans do not like to hear the conversations that are starting to surface.
Ground ball, and the shortstop J.P. Crawford won't have a throw. Got there with the backhand, but Zach Geloff already at first base. An infield hit for Geloff. Just the 2nd hit of the night for the A's.
I think wisely Crawford putting it in his pocket. Ball deep in the hole over there. Looks like ball may have squirted around just a bit in the hand of Crawford.
Here's Lawrence Butler. Butler's put it on the ground twice tonight. And on the ground again over Naylor, but wow, the second baseman and Cole Young was there to collect it and throw it over to first. That's the final out of the 7th. We'll go to the 8th, 4-0 Mariners. If it's viral, funny, or trending, it's on TikTok. Get exclusive athletics content by following us at NBC Sports Authentic. Great shot over the river, the Tower Bridge. Unfortunately for the score, not as pretty. A 4-0 lead for the Mariners. Cole Young with the fly ball out into right field. One down here in the 8th. A couple defensive changes. Darryl Hernandez sliding over to the right side. He'll play second base, and Alika Williams in the game at shortstop. It's cool to see Alika get his first start as an Athletic on Sunday in San Diego, his hometown, against the Padres.
Got a hit.
An RBI single. Seen him make some nice defensive plays as well late in the game. Luke Raley, the pinch hitter now, and Raley will take a strike. Raley high out to right. On the move is Cortez, and that's going to get out of play to the berm. It's a cool satin Athletics jacket out there.
Indeed. I was cruising the farmers market. See Hogan Harris starting to loosen up now for the A's. Their bullpen. Farmers market in San Diego. Saw some nice throwbacks. Saw old satin A's jacket is Luke Raley with a swing and a miss. Right over top of the sweeper from Sterner. Sterner back out there after getting Garver to bounce out to Zach Geloff to end the 7th. Sterner, Jenny, in innings of 4 outings, excuse me, of 4 outs or more. Pretty good, not an earned run to his name.
Emerson fouls the first pitch back. We get a good catch.
Nope, but it did indeed hit the scoreboard, the digital scoreboard. And I don't know that the lights are out, but oh, they are.
Out to center field. And a catch for Lawrence Butler. A 6-pitch inning there for Sterner. Ouch. This game summary is brought to you by Toyota. Well, tonight, the Athletics showcased Gage Jump, his major league debut, and the left-hander went 5 innings, 9 hits, the 4 earned runs, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. So we saw some flashes of great in there. Unfortunately, the Mariners offense has been tough to deal with this whole series. 11 hits, 4 runs, and right now blanking the Athletics. Emerson Hancock, 6 innings for him. Did not allow a run for the 2nd time here this season in his 11th start. And now another lefty on the bump for the Mariners.
It'll be Gabe Spire into rock and fire. We've got a new right fielder. That's Luke Raley.
Hernandez fouls it back, 0-2. After Hernandez, the Athletics will go to a pinch hitter. Henry Bolte on deck. Another righty bat in there. Ground ball off the mound, and Young to first. One gone, and that will bring up Henry Bolte to pinch hit. So everyone has been used off the bench except for Jonah Heim. The day game tomorrow after the night game Probably see Jonah in the lineup. Jonah's name was floating around a little bit yesterday and today after the Orioles' big walk-off win by Colton Cowser, because he had a Sunday night walk-off homer and then he had a Monday, Memorial Day walk-off homer. And the last time that had been done, as that is going to hit Bolte and give the A's a base runner here in the 8th.
Well, Nick Kurtz stepping up to the plate now. This will be his 4th at bat of the night. 1st at bat, down on strikes. 2nd at bat, hard hit ball, but right at Julio. And unfortunately, in that 3rd at bat, caught looking on a fastball at the top of the strike zone. And we'll show you that to show you this. Tied with Big Mac, single season record, 48 games in a row, found his way on base. Look out! Big fella going to get brushed back by the left-hander Spire. Around the shoulder. Going to bend him backwards. Now you would love to see Kurtz just put a big swing on a pitch from the left-hander.
Here's the 1-1. Another strike.
I'll tell you, that first pitch from Spire served a purpose. And I think at times when you run one up and in on a guy, they start to think about whether or not they're going to see a breaking ball, might even start to look for one. It's been all fastballs up until this point. Now some room.
And a swing and a miss. Nick Kurtz goes down on strikes for the 3rd time tonight, 0 for 4. And barring a comeback in the 9th, that's probably the last time we'll see him up to bat.
And look, I'm not a huge fan of it because it's against our guy, but that's a great job by Spire to work off the first pitch of the at-bat, which in my opinion, as I said, served a purpose. Going to brush the left-hander back, get him off the plate, maybe plant a seed. Get him looking for a pitch that he just never got. Spire just beat him with fastballs.
So if the streak does end tonight for Nick Kurtz, he'll end tied with Mark McGwire for the longest on-base streak in a single season. Not too shabby.
Well, if that's the case, you know what tomorrow is? Good day to start another one.
I love that. So optimistic of you. Shea reached on a hit by pitch back in the 6th. Otherwise 0 for 2 tonight. As Bolte at first with speed, Bolte takes off. And he'll land at 2nd. It's the 4th stolen base for Henry Bolte. Swing and a miss, 2-2. So real quick, Jonah Heim got brought up because he was the last one in 2021. He had back-to-back games with walk-off homers. Kind of crazy short list to be on. Langoliers able to avoid the Athletic shutout yesterday by hitting a homer, and here he drives one to left, but it's right where Randy Arozarena is. The line out ends things here in the 8th. A's Baseball is brought to you by Roaring Camp Railroads. There's magic in the Redwoods. Travel over trestles through towering redwood groves to the summit of Bear Mountain. Let's get to the upcoming schedule brought to you by Service Champions. So the Mariners leave town tomorrow. It'll be an off day on Thursday, and the New York Yankees coming to town Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. Finish May at the ballpark with us here in West Sacramento. Then it'll be a road trip next week to see the Chicago Cubs and the Houston Astros. Ninth inning here, and the left-hander in Hogan Harris on the mound now for the 28th time this season. And Henry Bolte remaining in the game. Goes to center field. That slides Lawrence Butler over to right field. (2-0) to J.P. Crawford. Feels like the Athletics are seeing the Mariners at the wrong time here this week. They've collected 11 hits for 4 runs. 12 hits yesterday for 9 runs. Right now shutting out the A's 4-0.
You hate to think that you're part of getting a team hot, but you got to give credit to the Mariners. You know, and sometimes that's how the game works, is you end up running into a guy in Aaron Savali who has been fantastic all season long.
That's strike 3. Harris catches Crawford looking one out.
Last night, not the night for Aaron Savali. Unfortunately, ended up on the injured list. Hogan Harris painting an absolute dot on the corner.
Pitch to Julio Rodriguez, and that's a strike. Well, ABS challenge from Julio.
The pitch was called a strike. The batter's challenging.
I think Julio probably has an argument here. He's
Call's overturned. Seattle has 1 challenge remaining.
Just a bit low. The combined no-hitter that the Astros threw against the Rangers last night ended with an ABS challenge. The elation, the excitement.
Yeah, it was a gift for Santa.
It was.
Julio gets it. Hey.
Oh, man.
I won one.
Oh, I don't know that Nate Tomlinson liked that.
Not a big fan.
In the air, out to center field, and Bolte with the catch.
You know, even in moments like that, I don't want people to think that Nate Tomlinson doesn't have a sense of humor, but I think to remain stoic in that moment, probably better serving any umpire, because should he have given Julio like a shrug or, hey, I tried, he's probably going to get ridiculed for that.
Might end up as a meme. Is that what you're saying?
Well, just better to play it safe, probably, from the umpire perspective. So I respect it.
1 for 4 is Randy Arozarena tonight. Batting average jumped up to .299, and a high fly ball up to shallow right, a catch for Hernandez. 3 up, 3 down in the 9th. Lots of work to do with a little magic in the air, hopefully.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics.
This date in 1995, that catch from Ken Griffey Jr. Saw a lot of those over the course of his career, but pretty spectacular. What the kid could do in the field and at the plate.
It was incredible. I remember watching that and then watching him walk off and later finding out broken wrist. And I mean, I feel like that was the first time that he had really been seriously injured. I'm thinking, oh, what now? Like, it's just one of those moments where, I mean, King Griffey was invincible, you know, like a superhero. And you watch him make a superhero play, and then it's almost like watching Superman stop the speeding train and then kind of limp away. Like, oh, hold on. What's going on? That's not how that's supposed to work. Mariners are going to send Andres Munoz to the mound. 9 saves under the belt of the right-hander so far this season.
Rooker with a swing and a miss. Rooker in the air to center. On the right side, it'll be the second baseman Cole Young to make the catch, 1 out. Well, as it stands now, the Athletics, without a run, have not been shut out at home since the Houston Astros had an 11-0 victory. That was back on April 4th. Of course, just a couple days ago in San Diego, these were blanked by the Padres 2-0. Soderstrom's 1 for 4. He had a single in the 5th. That was the first hit of the game against Emerson Hancock. Just 2 total hits for the Athletics tonight. Gotta find some answers tomorrow if the score remains the same to try and salvage a series. Always appreciate the effort from the fans. Little rally caps going on.
Well, last night it was a 2-horse race between Castillo and Miller, and that told the story for the Athletics offense. Not only that, but the way they swung the bat against Savali and company. And again, when you're not feeling your best, you want to take the baseball, you want to go out, you want to battle for your club. I think that's where Aaron Savali found himself. Just unfortunately did not come away from it cleanly.
Soderstrom, well struck out to right center field and gone. Tyler Soderstrom puts the A's on the board with a solo home run here in the 9th, and they will not be shut out tonight.
Sodi sent a bullet into the night. Hard hit, low liner, and Sodi said, "We will not go quietly into the night." 84-mile-an-hour wrinkle by Munoz got ironed out quickly by Sodi.
That elephant head has to feel pretty good for Soderstrom. That was his first homer since earlier in the month on the 6th of May out on the road at Philadelphia. Pitch to Alika Williams, called strike, 0-2. Williams came in as a defensive replacement. And now hitting for the first time, having to face Andres Munoz. A swing and a miss will be the second out on the strikeout.
Well, this ball was barreled and then look out! Oh!
Oh man!
Right on. Have a seat. Don't rub it.
No! Some go home with souvenirs and some go home to find souvenirs later.
You know what? It's a Dodger fan.
Oh man. You're ruthless.
Well, we hope she's okay. Right?
Thanks for adding that.
Right.
You sound sincere. 1-1 for Zach Geloff. He's down to their final out here. They trail the Mariners 4-1. Ground ball, and it's fair. Pulled Emerson with the long throw, and it's off the glove of Naylor. So a base runner with 2 outs as Geloff is on. Not ready to finish this one yet.
Geloff with the chopper down the line. Holt Emerson having to range a little bit, make a throw on the run. Naylor trying to pick it cleanly. Ball off the heel of the glove, and the A's still got a little life here.
It'll be up to Lawrence Butler now. Crowd starting to get into it here on this Tuesday night. Oh, 1. Oh, and 2. All right, yes.
There you go.
Get him going.
Get him up.
Here's the 1-2. Good eye.
Munoz up there blowing 99.
A 3-2 count for Lawrence.
Babe, talk to him. Talk to him.
Full count and 2 outs. Runner taken off. Shot to first. Naylor will grab it and step on the base. That'll do it here for game 2. Seattle beats the Athletics 4-1 the final tonight. Gage Jump made his major league debut, and unfortunately on the losing end of things here. Mariners have won the series, and tomorrow game 3 coming up as the A's will try and get back to winning.
Well, this powerful performance tonight is brought to you by Xfinity, and it was a fantastic job on the mound once again for the Seattle Mariners staff, led by 6 shutout innings from the right-hander Emerson, Hancock, Ferrer, and Spire. A couple lefties would conspire for some goose eggs. And then it was Munoz blowing 99 with a wipeout slide piece to shut the door. Soderstrom would put the A's on the board with a solo shot. But that aside, the A's just not able to muster much offense tonight against a well-pitched ball game from the Seattle Mariners.
Well, thanks to that home run from Soderstrom, able to avoid the shutout. They lose by 3, and that'll turn the page to tomorrow. Jeffrey Springs is going to go as the A's have reshuffled their starting rotation order. The southpaw will be facing the righty in Logan Gilbert. We'll be on for an afternoon affair tomorrow at 11:30, so hope you can join us, see if the A's can beat the Mariners. They have now taken advantage in the season series and gained another game in the standings with a 4-1 win. Stay tuned. A's Cast on NBC Sports, presented by Toyota with Townie and Schutte, starts right now.